We're very lucky today to have Edie from Lloyds Bank Foundation. I'm very excited to hear her talk about what they offer. They do an absolutely brilliant package of support as well as funding. I've had a Lloyds Bank account since I was 12, so very excited about it. If we have any questions, we'll take them at the end, unless it's something that's stopping you understanding as we're going along. So if there's an acronym or something someone uses, put your hand up and we'll do our best to explain it. So we're all understanding together along the way, but otherwise we'll save questions towards the end. And I'll hand over to Edie. She's going to take you through.
Thanks so much, Bethan, and good afternoon, everybody. It's really good to see you all this afternoon, and I'm really looking forward to sharing a little bit about how the Lloyds Bank Foundation works. And I will take you through a few slides, but I want to keep that to the kind of minimum to give us plenty of time for kind of questions and discussion. But before I go any further, out of interest, has anybody had funding from the Lloyds Bank Foundation before? Doesn't look like it. Okay, cool. Right, just gives me a good idea to start off. So I'll do a little introduction. So I'm Edie. I live near Exeter, and I cover the whole of the southwest region for the Lloyds Bank Foundation. So there's 11 of me dotted around the country. We cover England and Wales with the foundation, and myself and my colleagues all do kind of the same job. So we look after a portfolio of charities in our regions. Currently in the southwest, I've got around 40, I think, and I'll go on to talking about the kinds of issues and themes that those charities are working with at the moment. And a lot of my work is spent visiting the charities we support and helping them with our kind of role as a funder plus. So as well as funding, we give consultancy support. And I'll go on to talking a little bit about that in a minute. So I'm going to try and share with you. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, thank you. Great. Okay, great. Right, I'm just moving this so I can see it a bit more easily. So this is us, Lloyds Bank Foundation, the very recognizable black horse there. So just a little background on us. So we are funded, so we're a charity as well. We are funded exclusively by Lloyds Bank. And then we are independent of them as well. So we come up with our own kind of strategy and objectives in terms of the charities we want to support and the themes that we want to address. Our approach is one of providing unrestricted funding. So all the charities that we support, we trust them and you as the experts. And if you're successful in getting the funding, it's then yours to use however you see best. We are aware that obviously the landscape at the moment is changing so rapidly. Sometimes your priorities, projects need to change. So hopefully an approach of providing unrestricted funding is helpful with that. And we're all about supporting small and local charities. I think like many of you here today, we want to see communities grow stronger, and we help people overcome complex issues. This is a little bit about what we are trying to achieve. And we have this kind of four ways that we work. We had a new strategy that started at the start of 2023, where we decided that we were going to allocate more of our funding to marginalised communities, including Black, Asian and minority ethnic, and deaf and disabled communities. One of the charities we've funded. So a big part of our approach is working in partnerships. So all the charities that we fund, we refer to as our charity partners. And that's really, really important. We see that when we fund a charity, we want to work together and we want to learn from you so we can kind of do what we're doing better. And it just says there, as I said before, we provide unrestricted funding, and we also provide additional support. Looking at how we fund, so we have three main programs of funding, and this is kind of one of the most important things in terms of eligibility. So all our funding is for charities that have an income between 25,000 and 500,000 a year. And all our funding also is offered over 3 years as a total of 75,000. So that breaks down to £25,000 per year. We've got three main programs. The first is our specialist program. I'm currently shortlisting for the program for 2024 for our specialist program. We started this last year, and this is for small local specialist charities supporting people with complex issues. And we've got 8 main themes that we fund for this. So in order to be eligible, charities need to be working to address one of the following 8 areas. So it's for charities that support people overcoming addiction, asylum seekers and refugees, care leavers, homelessness, offending, domestic violence, sexual abuse and exploitation, and human traffic and modern slavery. I'll follow up after this with those themes, so you've got that information as well. But we have those kind of 8 very kind of clear themes, and it's important when charities are applying that they can kind of demonstrate that that's the kind of main focus of their work. We also have an inclusion program, which is separated into 2 strands. Firstly, around racial equity. And so this is for organisations, charities and community interest companies who are both led by and working with people who face inequity due to ethnicity. As part of the eligibility for our racial equity programme, we look for charities where 50% of their staff are from the communities that they support and 75% of trustees. And those same kind of eligibility criteria carry across to our fund for charities working with deaf and disabled people as well. Looking at where we work, as I said, there's sort of 11 of me around the country, and you can see the southwest area there. Actually, the number's a bit higher in terms of charities we've supported. So we gave we are going to give 185 grants this year. Last year we gave 173. We've got a really good geographical spread across the country, and we look to try and keep that as even as possible, although we do find that we tend to get less applications from the southwest. And so what we're doing this year with our specialist programme is we are kind of prioritising applications from the southwest as well as from the northeast and Wales as well. To give an idea of the kind of number of applications we received, so we got last year 705 applications and funded 173 across all 3 of those programmes that I mentioned just now. I'll just pause on this one. I've been through some of this already. I guess a couple more points to pick out. So yeah, we fund charities that work with people aged 18 and over. It doesn't mean that 100% of your work has to be with that age group, but the vast majority needs to be with working with adults. Another thing we have there is, yeah, charities must have at least 3 unrelated trustees. And then yeah, the funding's for registered charities with published accounts on the Charity Commission website. In terms of when we're looking to shortlist applications, we're looking for charities that do work that's in depth, so focuses on developing long-term relationships with clients or service users or members. And we will consider short-term work if it then leads to kind of longer-term engagement and support. We are also looking for charities that provide kind of person-centered support, so work together individually and kind of provide support more on a kind of personal one-to-one basis rather than kind of just solely generic support. And we also look at personal plans. So looking at kind of individual strengths and challenges and needs, and working on that basis to provide support. For charities that are thinking of they might like to apply, we have this process here in that's set out there. What we really want to do, and we're actively trying to work on, is to not waste time. So we know how long it takes to fill out an application. I've spent quite a lot of time in fundraising as well, so I know how onerous it can be, and we're trying to minimize that for all charities who are interested. So we have an eligibility quiz on our website. I should say that will only be there when we've released a kind of funding round, so it's not there all the time. It's kind of time sensitive. So when we open a new fund, there'll be eligibility information there and the quiz that you can take. We also have an opportunity for anyone who's interested in applying but isn't quite sure if the Lloyds Bank Foundation is right for them. You can have a call with our kind of central grants team, and I'd also be happy to speak to any of you just to see if you do kind of you fit or we fit you, whichever way around. So again, we're just trying to make sure that before filling out an application, you've had that conversation and decided whether it's worth applying. And then I mentioned earlier on that as well as our funding, so unrestricted funding, 3 years, 75,000 in total. One of the most important ways that we support charities, it's one of the best bits of my job, I think, is that we provide consultancy support alongside our funding. So every charity that receives funding from us also gets quite a generous package of support, and that is charities find it really helpful on the whole. In fact, many charities say when they come towards the end of their time of funding with us that the money's been brilliant, but actually what's really helped to develop them or even transform them is the consultancy support. This is always led by charities. So we work with charities and then we listen to you and to charities about how you'd like to develop further, where you could do with a bit of extra support. That could be anything ranging from help develop a strategy or revise a business plan. It could be helping to recruit new or more diverse board of trustees. It could be around developing a communication strategy, social media support, fundraising. We've got a really kind of wide range of a wide offer there. And then once charities are funded in the Southwest, I would work alongside successful charities to kind of build a plan and engage those consultants to help charities over the time that they're funded with us. And also for funded charities, we try not to be, well, we don't knock on your door the whole time and bombard you with information, but every 6 months we get in touch to see how things are going. As we offer unrestricted funding, it's not the kind of questions on how's your money being spent. It's more how are things going in your organisation and how can we help you further. A charity that we funded recently. Okay, I'll take the slides away, and I think I wanted to add to those slides to say that alongside our funding, we also have a policy team, and a lot of our work is around influencing as well. So what we do is we work with our charities as well to help them influence and to also take the messages that we're hearing to then talk to the people, try and bring about structural change as well. So we're kind of making sure that when we ask questions to the charities that we fund, we're not just being nosy. We kind of want to make improvements to our programs and then also use that to try and help our influencing work. I will leave it there. I've been over 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there just for now.